offensively?
Well, there's going to be a lot of reasons why. Well, first off, I'd like to commend Texas Southern. I thought they came in and were ready to go. They competed really hard. They have some good players. They did a good job. So recognize them. And then also the student body. Student body was awesome today. So thank you to all the Golden Bears students out there that came to the game. But to answer your question, why did it take so long to get going? Well, I wish there was one reason, but it was a matter of executing the plays, whether it was blocking. I mean, we didn't really block, run, throw, catch very well in the first half. So if we're not doing that up to par, it's going to be hard to move the ball. And you give the other team credit. They did a good job, but we have to be much better than that. I think some guys were probably pressing a little bit. Trying to do, excited to play and maybe trying to do a little bit too much. And, we can do a better job focusing on the play that's right in front of us and executing that play better. But I thought we played through that. It took longer than any of us would like, but football doesn't always go according to plan. It rarely goes according to plan. So being able to play yourself out of some, adversities or where you're not in rhythm and play into rhythm is part of it. So I thought we learned some valuable lessons there, and it picked back up, especially in the second half.
I think Jaron completed like 12 for 12 on the 3 scoring drives that broke the game open, but he looked like he was out of rhythm early. Was he pressing, or was he just not ready, or what did you think happened there?
Well, regardless of what the reasons were that we didn't start well, we have to address it. And like I said, there wasn't one reason, because if it was one reason, you just solve that on the sideline. It's the individuals, and ultimately it's our job to make sure the team's ready. I just think a couple guys were pressing a little bit, trying to do sped up, trying to make every play a big play, when what we need to do is execute the play in front of us with the techniques that are given, with maximum effort, and just keep doing that over and over again. But Jaron will learn a lot from this game. He did some really good things. Especially later in the game, and we know he can really throw the ball, and there's going to be a lot to learn from this game for him.
This is the first time seeing you guys. Raphael had obviously a great game. When you see 7.3 a carry, normally when a guy has that kind of average, he breaks off a 50, 60 yarder at some point. There was none of that. They were just solid runs all day. Is that who he is? When we saw it there, is that the guy?
That's what we're looking for. That's what we're hoping for. Absolutely. I thought I saw it the same as you did. I thought he took a step forward today. Up and over 100 yards, made some good hard runs in there, had some great cuts. So really proud of him.
Justin, obviously, Cade ejection, a very consequential thing heading into next week. What is the balance of telling him, hey, we need you to be you, and obviously he's at his best going downhill, versus live to fight another day, knowing that a big game's on deck next week?
Well, it's the technique. We got to hit people in the strike zone, just like a baseball. That's where you got to hit people. Got to hit them in the strike zone, and if you don't, you'll get targeting calls, and they throw you out of the game. So it's really unfortunate. I know Cade doesn't want to be thrown out of the game. He's an aggressive player, plays really fast. He's very, very explosive when he hits people. Everybody sees it. And it was a technique error, and it's really unfortunate.
Justin, you talked last week about it's always better to learn lessons after you've won as opposed to learn lessons after you've lost. So how much do you savor this win? You got another win, and how much do you impart on the team the lessons that the players still need to learn?
Yeah, we want them to enjoy the win. That's what this evening's for. And then once they get the cut-ups shared to them tomorrow, and once we start getting in the meeting room, we'll acknowledge the things we did well. It's not about beating people down. It's about pointing out things that we must improve upon to continue to get better as a team. We can't. We're going to need to play much better than that overall. So, I want them to enjoy winning. Winning's hard. Give the other team credit. Texas Southern came in here ready to play, but we're going to need to play better, and that's individually, position units, offense, defense, and collectively the team. That's what we need to see next week.
Coach, the defense looked really good today, only held Texas Southern to 3 points. Do you feel like that was something in the game plan that was special that, helped you guys do that, or was it just the execution of the guys out on the field?
If you keep the other team from scoring a touchdown, that's good. That's really good. However, the expectation of how we play, there was just a lot of things that we're going to need to improve upon. How we rush the quarterback, how we tackle at certain positions, our decisions at the end of the play, those things have to improve. Again, when you keep the team from scoring, that's great, but we need to be competing against what we're capable of. And so there's a lot of areas that we can improve upon there on defense. So.
Justin, can you talk further about the pass rush? Because I think you only had 2 sacks, but it felt like you had him kind of off balance most of the day.
I thought we were winning in some one-on-one situations. The issue was our rush integrity. And that means being where you're supposed to be within the pass rush. We can't end up with 2 or 3. If you're bringing 4 guys, we can't end up with 2 or even 3 of them above the quarterback, beyond the quarterback. That's not good. Okay, so our rush integrity needs to be better. We had a hard time. We didn't do that near well enough today. I'd say that. Do we have some good guys who can pass rush? Absolutely, but they got to work together. That's got to be coordinated effort because there were times when it was too easy for the QB, whether it was to step up and escape into the BA gap, one time getting on the perimeter very easily, 2 times splitting the nickel and the defensive end on a movement, and that was, again, I kind of go back. It's great when we keep them from scoring. However, those are the things that I'm looking at, like that isn't good. And again, not trying to beat our team down. They did some really good things, but we're trying to hold them accountable to what they're capable of. And so the rush lanes, that we can do that much better, and we will. We'll get better at that.
Justin, it looked like Mark Hamper got hurt again. I thought the last catch he made. Any update on him? Anybody else?
He's just dealing with something that's going to be really kind of annoying until we can kind of get him over the hump with that injury. But he's a tough guy, and you kind of see him. He bangs around in there. He catches the ball, and then sometimes you got to come out and catch his breath and feel a little bit better. But he's battling. There's no doubt about it. So hopefully we can get that thing healed up and it doesn't affect him as much.